Simeo Kitab in Science, or SIKIS, which is located in Bandung, was established in 2009. SIKIS has successfully conducted many programs that are categorized into three program trusts, namely Professional Teacher Development, Learning Resource Development, and Professional Learning Communities. The three program trusts are elaborated into age categories of program, which are: training course is one of SIKI's responsibilities to increase the quality of teachers and education personnel. The trainings are divided into three categories, which are regular training courses, customized training courses, collaboration training courses. Workshops are intended to enhance and develop teachers, education personnel, as well as internal resources competencies related to science learning. International conference, seminars, and online lectures purpose is to disseminate best practice of science education. Science Research Grants has been awarded to best 30 research proposals of Indonesian science teachers and education personnel. To reach the goal of enhancing teachers and educational staff quality, SIKIS has successfully established mutual collaboration and networking with other institutions nationally, regionally, and internationally. Staff capacity building activities are intended to increase the capability of SIKI's staff. The last one is the Center Promotion and Publication, which proposes to increase public awareness toward SIKIS.
Welcome to SIKIS, Simeo Kitab in Science, a center of professional excellence in the area of science teaching for teachers and educational personnel within the framework of sustainable development. Our mission is to provide relevant and quality programs in professional excellence for science teachers and educational personnel through capacity building activities, resource searching, research and development, and networking. We are fully supported by 11 SIAMA member countries through the appointment of governing board members. The center is currently assisted by 41 competent resources divided into 6 divisions.
SIKIS offers various programs and activities, which are: 1. Trainings, 2. Workshop and seminars, 3. Research grants, 4. Ki Hajar Dewantara Awards. Trainings were consisting of 1. Regular trainings. 2. Customized trainings. 3. Collaborative trainings. Regular training. 1. The training course on Earth and Space Science. 2. The training course on Environmental Education for Sustainable Development. 3. The training course on Science Classroom Supervision. Customized training. In-country training. Those conducted in other SIMEO member countries and in province of Indonesia. Collaborative trainings. Stellar STEM training, collaboration with ATSE. Integrasi STEM dalam kurikulum 2013, collaboration with MOEC of Indonesia, P4TK IPA Bandung, and Bandung Education Department. Workshop and seminars. Science seminar, research dissemination seminar. Research grant. Grants for science teachers to conduct research with science learning as the main theme. Ki Hajar Dewantara, or KHD Award, is an idea and initiative by SIMEO Kitab in Science to honor and appreciate the science teachers who have dedicated their lives and effort to bring the teaching and learning process up to an excellent level. SIKI's achievements from 2009 until 2018 are 5,343 alumni, 47 regular trainings, 33 seminar and international conference, 31 staff capacity building activities, and 53 national and international networks.
In carrying out our mandate to improve science teachers and education personnel across the region, we will continue to improve the quality of our programs not only in science education but also acquiring the technology. Therefore, the teachers should possess skill and knowledge to educate their students in facing today's challenges.
Kitab in Science, or SIKIS, which is located in Bandung, was established in 2009. SIKIS has successfully conducted many programs that are categorized into three program trusts, namely Professional Teacher Development, Learning Resource Development, and Professional Learning Communities. The three program trusts are elaborated into age categories of program, which are: training course is one of SIKI's responsibilities to increase the quality of teachers and education personnel. The trainings are divided into three categories, which are regular training courses, customized training courses, collaboration training courses. Workshops are intended to enhance and develop teachers, education personnel, as well as internal resources competencies related to science learning. International conference, seminars, and online lectures purpose is to disseminate best practice of science education. Simeo Kitab in Science, or SIKIS, which is located in Bandung, was established in 2009. SIKIS has successfully conducted many programs that are categorized into three program trusts, namely Professional Teacher Development, Learning Resource Development, and Professional Learning Communities. The three program trusts are elaborated into age categories of program, which are: training course is one of SIKI's responsibilities to increase the quality of teachers and education personnel. The trainings are divided into three categories, which are regular training courses, customized training courses, collaboration training courses. Workshops are intended to enhance and develop teachers, education personnel, as well as internal resources competencies related to science learning. International conference, seminars, and online lectures purpose is to disseminate best practice of science education. Science research grants has been awarded to best 30 research proposals of Indonesian science teachers and education personnel. To reach the goal of enhancing teachers and educational staff quality, SIKIS has successfully established mutual collaboration and networking with other institutions nationally, regionally, and internationally. Staff capacity building activities are intended to increase the capability of SIKI's staff. The last one is the Center Promotion and Publication, which proposes to increase public awareness towards SIKIS. Simeo Kitab in Science, or SIKIS, which is located in Bandung, was established in 2009. SIKIS has successfully conducted many programs that are categorized into three program trusts, namely Professional Teacher Development, Learning Resource Development, and Professional Learning Communities. The three program trusts are elaborated into age categories of program, which are: training course is one of SIKI's responsibilities to increase the quality of teachers and education personnel. The trainings are divided into three categories, which are regular training courses, customized training courses, collaboration training courses. Workshops are intended to enhance and develop teachers, education personnel, as well as internal resources competencies related to science learning. International conference, seminars, and online lectures purpose is to disseminate best practice of science education. Science research grants has been awarded to best 30 research proposals of Indonesian science teachers and education personnel. To reach the goal of enhancing teachers and educational staff quality, SIKIS has successfully established mutual collaboration and networking with other institutions nationally, regionally, and internationally. Staff capacity building activities are intended to increase the capability of SIKI's staff. The last one is the Center Promotion and Publication, which proposes to increase public awareness toward SIKIS.
Kitab in Science, a center of professional excellence in the area of science teaching for teachers and educational personnel within the framework of sustainable development. Our mission is to provide relevant and quality programs in professional excellence for science teachers and educational personnel through capacity building activities, resource sharing, research and development, and networking. We are fully supported by 11 JAMA member countries through the appointment of governing board members. The center is currently assisted by 41 competent resources divided into 6 divisions.
SIKIS offers various programs and activities, which are: 1. Trainings, 2. Workshop and seminars, 3. Research grants, 4. Ki Hajar Dewantara Awards. Trainings were consisting of: 1. Regular trainings, 2. Customized trainings, 3. Collaborative trainings. Regular training: 1. The training course on Earth and Space Science, 2.
Director,
The training
Dr.
course on
Wilfreda
environmental
Bongalos, our
education for
SDS in the
sustainable
division of Lapu-Lapu
development.
City.
3.
Dr.
The training
Marcelita
course
Dignas
on
has been so
science classroom
supportive in all my
supervision.
undertakings. And our school head, Madam Concepcion Garza.
Customized training.
Dr. Indrawati,
In-country
actually
training.
invited me to be here.
Those
Thank you.
conducted in other
The
senior
outline of
member
my talk
countries.
today are divided into 4 areas. The first one is looking back, Kihajar Dewantara Award 2018. I'd like to reminisce on that. Moving forward from 2018, what was my achievement as a teacher, as a research, and as a research mentor? The third topic is on the new normal. And of course, the fourth one is a personal insight about teaching in the new normal. The first area is looking back Ki Hajar Dewantara Award. It was actually September 17, 18, and 19 in Bali, Indonesia, where the second Ki Hajar Dewantara Award, the search for best science teacher in Southeast Asia, was actually held. And I was the sole representative of the Philippines vying for the title. So luckily, I won second prize, and then I was featured in local TV networks in the Philippines as well as in the newspapers. I was also lauded by the Department of Education in my division of Lapu-Lapu City as well as in the regional level. So from there, what was my accomplishment? Uh, Kia Jar Dewantara Award actually was my first international award in my 16 years of teaching. I was teaching at the university for 10 years, and now this is my fifth year in teaching DepEd Lapu-Lapu City or in public school. One of my platform in the Kihajar Dewantara contest was actually my research on guided and immersive training approach to enhance knowledge and skills in science investigatory project. My school is a small school. It's a science school in the division of Lapu-Lapu City. When I came there was no training actually when it comes to research or undertaking science investigatory project. So what I did when I came there, because my expertise actually was more of science teaching at the same time mentoring in science statistical project when I was in the university and in the research department. So what I did is that I made a learning kit, a learning program, guided approach plus immersive training approach in the hope to enhance the knowledge, skills, and attitude of students in doing research. What is it, the content of the guided approach? The content of the guided approach is that I was giving lecture and input as a mentor on how to do science investigatory project, because more often than not a research teacher, an ordinary research teacher, would just simply assign their students what to do, and then the students would probably wondering what to do every step of the way. So lecture input of the mentor is very important. And then I made also a contextualized module that they can follow, and they can step into contextualized so that they can actually produce an output on their own independently. And then, of course, I've invited also some of my friends in the universities to give in internal inputs. These are limitations of a science teachers. We do not hold all knowledge in the world. We are not the be all and the end all of everything. So we need also to collaborate with other people to share also their expertise to us. So I invited chemists, I invited microbiologists, I invited experts in robotics and intelligent machines to share also their insights. And this inspires our students, my students in my school, to do researches on that lines. And then of course, extensive mentoring. And then the immersive approach is that there were training workshop, hands-on workshop. And then the research of my students were also being partnered to other universities, for testings and measurements. And then there was also hands-on testing. And luckily, fortunately, because of that solid process, my students were able to enhance their knowledge, skills, and attitude. So I applied this one in 2017. My first output was 2018. And I noticed that my students became more engaging in their attitude. And of course, they've developed their creativity and innovation, their thinking skills, resources, and they start to make recognitions in the division, in the regional levels, and in national level competition. So I could say that the start point of my career as a DepEd teacher and a public school teacher and as a researcher as well was the Kihajar Dewantara Award. It kind of opened a lot of windows and doors of opportunities for me. And what was the impact of that award? It actually I was able to translate this accomplishment to become more passionate in what I do. And the series of impact are found in the output of my student. I have a group of students who produced actually a recycled bag made up of Tetra Pak plastics. These are GPS wired bags. So these are modern bags actually, and they were featured in the TV Patrol. I have also a student who won 100,000 pesos and a patent grant when he won the DOST Science and Technology Innovation Contest last 2020 March. His study is all about the medical methods. It's actually a medical tumor scanner where he invented actually an application in the cell phone. And if he takes pictures on your moles or any irregularities or discolorations, the application could analyze if it's cancerous or if it is benign or cancerous. I have also a student, Kristia Tangin. She is now in UP. When she was in my class in 2018, she also won the regional contest and the first finalists also in the national level. She invented an underground drone for disasters and emergency, integrated with artificial intelligence, where this can actually scan and detect warm bodies so that we will not sacrifice any more personal aid going to highly risky environment. I also have another student who won recently in March in the National Science and Technology Fair. He invented the project Kinderbox. It's a micro room transforming relief box. It's a simple relief box that can transform into a room. So this is good for those who are victims of calamities and disasters where their houses are devastated greatly by these calamities. I also have another group of students, the Power Up Women, Power Up Girls, who actually invented cockroaches. And out of the guts and exoskeleton of these cockroaches, this was experimented and inhibited the growth of the bacteria, such as Staphylococcus and Escherichia coli. What was the impact of myself? Or actually, Kihajar Award actually is a surreal opportunity for me, and it has impacted so much of my undertaking as a teacher, professional teacher in the public school. I won another Asian award. I was voted as the outstanding senior secondary teacher in Asia, given by INSED and Space. It was given actually February 21 in Thailand. I wasn't able to go there, but the plaque and the certificate was delivered to me. I also won the regional most outstanding master teacher award in Region 7 in 2018. I also won the recognized as the most outstanding teacher in my division in 2019. I also won series of research undertaking. I was known to be I was awarded as the outstanding researcher in Central Visayas in 2018 and best content paper, full paper during the research congress in my region. And then I was able also to publish my own workbook in practical research, and I was able to publish internationally my researches in iGyrus journals. The second topic is about the new normal, school scenario and learning continuity. Well, before this pandemic, actually, our school was kind of ordinary and mundane, and we're doing fine in what we do. Face-to-face teaching, giving lectures, hands-on and an experiment. And here comes the pandemic, which is actually we are forced to close our school because some of our schools are quarantined already, and then we experience disruptions from the normality. So there's so many disruptions, not only in education, in teaching, learning, but also in a lot of aspects like politics, economy, business, employment, etc. This COVID-19 or SARS-CoV started actually in December, and it became a pandemia felt by the entire globe sometimes in January, February, and March. In the Philippines, we had already our first few cases in January, and it actually rose up somewhere in March. So our classes in March was cut off mid-March. Actually, we didn't have a class already. So our President Rodrigo Duterte, on June 5, he pronounced that if there's no vaccine yet for the virus, there should no be face-to-face classes. And our Secretary Leonor Briones agreed um, to that policy, agreed to that call that if there's no vaccine, there should no be classes. But what should we do with our education? Actually, he has a pronouncement that education must continue even in times of crisis, and she longed that classes will not in any way obstruct or be delayed, um, even if there is a state of calamities or emergency. So education in the Philippines should find a way to still continue giving accessible quality education to the children. Because of this, normally our start of classes here should be in June 1 and ends in March or early April. But now we are forced to start our classes on August 25. So right now until August 24, we will be preparing a lot of things for the new normal, for the new modalities and options of learning. We're now doing the depth ed survey on the opening of classes, and part of the survey actually is to ask our students about their capability of doing a remote or online learning or distance learning. And then it also a part of the survey of what technology they have at home in order to participate and still continue on learning. And then this will be the basis of all our school heads and principals in the Philippines to tailor fit their continuity learning plan based on the results of the survey. So the learning continuity plan is a plan of action based on the survey. I'd like to invite your attention to an example of a school survey that I did in my own school. So we already have enrolled 141 grade 12 students last June 1 to June 15. We're now trying to finish up our enrollment with grade 11, having 191 grade 11 students. In the question on what devices are available at home that the learner can use for their learning, the top choice was actually smartphone. So 122 or 86.5%. So most of our students have this smartphone. Laptop is 87%, and then the computer desktop is 36%, and then tablet is 17%. I would like to make a disclaimer that this survey is just exclusive for my school and not necessarily true to other schools. It might be lesser than this, or it could also be like this one. And it's also good to know that there's also two of our enrolled students in grade 12 doesn't have any technology at all for remote learning. So what should we do with the majority, and what could we do with minority, some of few of these students? Do you have a way to connect to the internet? 90.1% says yes, but there's a 9.9% saying no. And then how do you connect to the internet? Their top choice actually was mobile data, 73. And we know already the limitation of that mobile data. They have a broadband internet or DSL, 89%. But this is alarming because some of the connections are gotten from going to computer shops and outside their home, which could pose danger and risky to the health of our students. Where in fact, based on our executive order, students aging 21 below cannot go out yet of their houses. On question, what distance learning modalities do you prefer? And of course, in guidance of the parents, well, most of them actually would like to do online learning, would like to try online learning. And then also, a portion of our students also is okay with modular learning. And then a handful also of our students concur to the idea of a blended or a combination of face-to-face with other learning modalities. On questions like what could possibly affect or challenges that these children would meet along distance education, will on top of the score is unstable mobile internet connections. And I think we share the same experience in the Southeast Asian countries. There are remote areas whose connections are quite lagging. So there could be problem on synchronicity of remote teaching, especially for synchronous online teaching. And then no lack or available space at home, and then difficulty in independent learning because most of our students in the Philippines are used actually having face-to-face, and now they would be shift to a new normal learning on their own. That could be quite challenging to their part. Our president already pronounced in June 5 he is in doubt whether or not Philippines is ready for virtual learning, knowing that there are some remote areas in the Philippines who doesn't have electricity or internet connection. So what will happen to online learning? DepEd, Department of Education, already has provided some options that the school could choose depending on the surveys that we did. Option number one is to do a modular distance learning. We could print out modules that are contextualized and can be handed to our students where they could study this one independently together with the assistance of their parents at home. We could also transform our modules printed into a digital format. So if they want a paperless copy of the modules that they need to learn, all they have to do is just to give flash drive or hard drive, and then we can save them the modules that we have and learn the same thing at home. We could also do radio or TV based instruction, where in fact some of the regions now are busy trying to come up with a script and at the same time a recorded version of the topic, and this will be saved and aired in the radio or probably shown in the TV. But this could be quite challenging and takes a lot of time and creativity on the part of the teacher. And then we could do online distance learning, synchronous, where everybody gets the same information at the same time, just logging in. And asynchronous, if there's a lagging internet, they could easily open their digital copies through any platforms that are available and get to answer all of the assessments and activities that they need to perform. There's also homeschooling where the parents or guardians or older brothers and sisters or tutors can be trained by DepEd, and then they could become teachers in their own houses or homes. And apprenticeship, this is an immersion program where our students could be immersed in a real life industries where they could earn actual learning works and be converted into units of credits. Or we could also do blended learning, like a combination of face-to-face and e-learnings. We also have a DepEd Commons. This is an online platform of the Philippines. Commons, DepEd Commons, meaning this is available to everybody, making it an ordinary or usual common platform where everybody could browse in. All they have to do is just to log in DepEd Commons, commons.deped.gov.ph, and then input some of the details that are necessary, and then select a grade level. And then, for example, mine is general biology, and then I could get some of the resources coming from there. This is a platform actually made by the teacher for the teachers. In my school, STEC grade 12 students, based on the surveys, not all have technology for offline and online learning. Not all have internet, and not all preferred online learning as well. Our facility, currently we have 2 internet connection. We require more, and we welcome some of the donors and sponsors to help us and support us through collaborative efforts. How about if all schools in the Philippines will use internet in class hours? Currently, last June 22, we already have 13.2 million enrollees in public and private school. Around 12.8 millions already in public school are already enrolled. If this 12.8 million would learn at the same time using internet, what will happen to our internet? And there are around 800,000 teachers, public school teachers, would also be doing online. So there would be an internet lagging. So that's a problem. In Lapu-Lapu City, LLC is Lapu-Lapu City scenario in my division. What will be the scenario by August? It could be, I don't know what's the term other countries are adapting, but we're adapting in the Philippines, GCQ, General Community Quarantine, or MECQ, the Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine, meaning there are still sparks of cases of coronavirus, so there are restrictions that has to be made, and students under 21 years old are not allowed to go out or attend classes. How about what if we will already have the new normal? No more cases, but there's no vaccine yet. So our action to that as a school in public school, if it's GCQ or MECQ, we could do online and modular, digital and printed. Or if it's a new normal already, we can do blended learning, modular plus online. That could be scheduled in a week. Right now, I am trying to complete my the modules of my subjects that I will be handling in August. I'm handling Research 3, Inquiries, Investigations, and Immersion. I'm done with the entire modules already. I'm now in the process of checking it and rechecking it before quality assurance could be done. So this is what I'm doing now, the printed materials. And most of the probably parents would like to have printed materials rather than online, because in printed materials, they can review it over and over again and they could study together with their kids. Unlike online, if you cannot attend, well, if it's recorded, it's good. But if it's not recorded, it's one time. Maybe majority of our students would miss the opportunity of listening to you online. I'm also doing now my printed material on General Biology 1. Um, Parts of the module is actually based on ADM model, the alternative delivery mode. I would like to to give a shout out to Ma'am Tess Bandulon, our supervisor in LRMDS, and Ma'am Marigold Cardente, our supervisor also in Araling Panlipunan. They gave us input on how to do the modules. And modules should be based on the most essential competencies that we need to teach, and it should be friendly and it should be easy to follow, self-instructional. So I have here signs and icons and symbols. I have introduction, focusing on the most essential learning competencies that the students needs to focus on to learn independently. I have a pre-test. I have a review, and then I have an activity for them. I also made a course learning outline, and then there is a mini lesson. There's an example. I have an enrichment activity, making generalization, and of course, application. And there's a post-test, and there are references. So these are the content package of our learning modules. I also have a version of my modules. If that's the printed one, I also have an electronic version of my modules ready to be given out to the students who wish to have a soft copy of the modules. Yes, all they can do is just to give a flash drive, and then I could save probably this to their hard drives and then open this one at home. We also have online materials made available for them. So this is asynchronous. I'm using a platform known as Google Classroom. And then in the Google Classroom, I already have uploaded module 1, 2, and 3 of my lessons so that I could have a tryout. So if the students would not want to go to the school to get the soft copy, they could easily log into Google Classroom with a code and then get their instructions and assessment points anytime they want. And then I'm also using Teams, Microsoft Teams. We were also trained to do Microsoft Teams, accept requirements, grade, give assessments, and give it back to the students. I'm also now trying to learn. I'm not a master, but I'm slowly learning the book widgets, which enable me actually to convert my learning materials into an interactive units. So I have here an example. I cannot play this one, but this is an example of an animal cell where there are buttons that could be pressed and then linked to an audio or video that they could easily learn through visual learning. Another book widget example is I can do online examination, an interactive online examination. I can also do tracing of the blood flow in the arteries and the veins. I could also have a fun learning through puzzles. I could use actually online materials in the opening of classes. I could use Google Meet or Microsoft Teams for online teachings. We already have samples during our meetings and during our LAC sessions or inset sessions. I could also do blended because I also miss blended learning. We were cut off in mid-March. I hope everything goes fine and there's vaccine already in July. I'm just hoping because I could go back to organizing a face-to-face classroom. In my class, usually, I only have a maximum of 30 students and a minimum of 22 students in my class. So I will be using the Google Classroom, the Teams, and then the Zoom. A paradigm shift says about unlearning. We already have learned a lot of things in the past, and now, because of the new normal, we're quite unlearning. We have to pour in the full glass, empty the glass, and trying to learn some of the new technologies that we could use in order to survive in this disastrous time and emergency. One of my best practices actually is an immersion program. I wish to do this if body contacts and physical presence are already allowed, but I don't know how to do this on virtually. I usually handle on second semester grade 12 students. It's an immersion time, meaning I usher them to a partnered industry where they could learn actual works. And this is part of our career guidance program and career pathing program to inspire them to really pursue their course of interests. So I am in charge with STEM medical. I'm ushering them to hospital in order to learn blood testing in the radiology department, and then do self-assessment, and then that's it, urine sample analysis and everything. So these are the things that you cannot teach inside the classroom and can only be learned in sophisticated industries. This is still a planned stage, but there are processes in the science that we cannot teach online. But I hope to record some of the lessons that requires processes and demonstration, like example, dissection of the frog, live dissection of the frog, which usually my students would just take pictures and videos and then played it at home over and over again when they study their tips units. And then this part here is this is actually a 3D machine. I will be introducing a 3D printed machine. I will also be probably recording how to use Arduino and to use sensors using Arduino. This is also one of the inset that we have where this is actually Dr. Oliver Tuburan, our CID chief, recorded actually my teaching demonstrations and were actually shown to teachers in my division in order to get some tips and a model class set up so that they could learn from, or they could actually motivate from or inspire from, and hopefully also do it on their own. Another best practice of mine is that learning resource room. I hope I could invite you all to come to my classroom. My classroom, an ordinary public school in the Philippines, is just an ordinary room, but I have transformed my classroom within 2 years' time. So I already made a gallery shop in my room. So my goal here is that every space in my classroom is worthy and an opportunity for learning to continuously happen even without me in the classroom. So this is my mitosis wall. This is my herbarium wall, dried flowers and plants with parts that they could learn, basic botany. I also have a taxidermy of insects. This is my work table. This is also my flip up charts. These are sketches done by my students. This is my scientific names wall. This is my taxidermy wall. This is my bookshelf on the left side. The center is my best work tag board. And this one on the right side, this is my program. This is my paging program. I also have here the anatomy wall. I have there the magazines made by my students, and some other materials. Another best practice that I'm doing in my science class is that I usually do science colloquium every end of the semester, inviting actually expert to make an input about some of the special topics. Like in 2018, we did understanding the pathogen standard health procedures in my medical class. We also recently able to showcase this topic, very timely topic on coronavirus last February 21, 2020. And then I was also able to attend this colloquium, Global Conversion on STEM Leadership Summit, talking about challenges and best practices about STEM education in the Philippines. And then I was actually the moderator. And then how will I do this? My plan is actually to turn this one into virtual. Probably I could invite Miss Lee in Malaysia to do online and talk about her experience on some topics live in my class, if she allows. And then some also of my friends in other countries. My personal insight in the teaching the new normal is one should never think that she is overly prepared for this challenging crisis. We are all trying to find ways and means to continue our mission of providing accessible quality education amidst this crisis in pandemic. We should know by now that one size fits all is not applicable. Each of us must continue to learn, unlearn, relearn, so we could find comfort in strategies that we feel suited for our differentiated learners. No one is a master of technology. Even technology has its own limits. And you, as a teacher, must stand above all these limitations. Often, at the end of the semester or even years later, when students share with me what they really got out of my classes, I hear time and again how it was never really about the content. It's more of educating them to be individuals with character, resilient, confident, and result driven amidst the seismic shifts in their lives. And no amount of Zoom, Google, Moodle, or Blackboard will ever make this happen. This is actually a class picture last March. I was attending a national contest, so I was not able to join them, but this is a STEM atom medical class. One of my students would wish me to be there. So what he did actually is he cropped my picture and then place it at the center as if me is together with them when they have their pictorials. This is the longing of some of my students to be actually part of their class pictures. Going back to my special topic, teaching in the new normal, using proven practices with a new flavor. So where is the new flavor? Actually, do not look beyond because the new flavor is you. These technologies are already present since the beginning of time or probably a decade ago. But actually, what is required of us as a science teacher is to give new flavor to these contemporary and emerging practices and technologies so that our class would be transformed into an exciting one. You add new flavor when you assess yourself and others, know your limitations, and know your capabilities. You could go beyond your abilities if you just open your doors. Assessment is very important. Do not act hastily. You have to decide based on data, and you have to decide based on the results of the survey. So assessment is very important. Make an impact, bring change. That is also adding new flavor. You add a new flavor to your work or to your science teaching when you could make an impact. You should ask yourself, what are all these things for? What should we get at the end of this output or at the end of this process? And you have to make sure that you will bring change, and the change should be for good or for better. You add flavor when you use the technology, and I'd like to emphasize the word wisely, because some of the teachers would just use technology for the sake of using it. But are we using the technology wisely? Let us remember the technology has limitations, and we should stand over these limitations. We are in control in the class and not technology controlling us. But of course, we love to use technology because technology makes our work comfortable, easier, and more promising. Develop an attitude of gratitude. At the end of the day, you can always give credit to whom the credit is due. At the same time, be thankful of all the opportunities that have come to you. Be thankful of all the problems, difficulties, challenges, mistakes that you did. Rise above all the challenges. Be grateful and have this heart of thanking everything that happens in your life. Well, it's very sad to imagine that life is unfair, but it will be a disruption if you keep telling yourself, what about me? What's happening to me now? And then you would miss the opportunity that would come to your way. Learn something new every day. Learning happens every day. Knowledge grows. And do not be afraid to learn new things. And lastly, trust your creator. Creator, I mean your God. Whoever is your God, whatever is your religion, you just have to trust that there's above all of us orchestrating all these things to happen to give us actually an opportunity to learn from the situations. Let us just trust that there's no problem that is so big that we cannot solve in the help of our creator. And with God, all things are possible. Science, I would always say that science is not a deviation from believing our creator or God. God is the creator of science, and we have to acknowledge that. And with that, maraming salamat, daghang salamat. Thank you very much, and that's the end of my presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Teacher Brian, for your presentation with very inspiring insights. And when I saw your pictures with your students, it looked like you are on the same age. You look like their friend.
Thank you for that. It's a compliment. Thank you.
And yeah, and I do agree with what Teacher Brian said. Online teaching is much more about transferring information. And to be honest, we frequently find that our students are better in using the internet to find information than us. And so teachers should not only teach the content, but teachers should be able to become motivator for their students. And next, we are moved to the discussion session. We have already have one participant to directly ask question to
Yes,
you,
please.
Brian. It is Miss Putu Rusmila Dewi Kesiman from Indonesia, I think. Okay, Miss Putu, can you hear my voice? Hello, Miss Putu. You can unmute your microphone. Hello, Miss Putu.
Hello.
You
Hello.
can hear my voice?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So you want to ask a question to Teacher Brian. So please ask your question to Teacher Brian.
Okay. Uh, Thank you. Good morning, Teacher Brian.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for Siakis for the opportunity for me to ask some questions for Dr. Brian as a panelist. What was Dr. Brian said earlier uh, made me inspired.
Thank
Uh,
you.
in 2016, my research on inquiry learning was got a research grant from Kitab in Science. But in these occasions, I want to ask to you about some effective activities to students during pandemic situations. So my students has a distance learning at their home. We are in a science learning. Uh, what is effective activities that we can get to our students as a teachers, so my students uh, still keep in touch with science process skills.
Yeah. My answer would be three things. First one, you have to make them feel that this is a new normal. This is not an ordinary classroom. Ordinary classroom situation will not possibly happen anytime soon without vaccine. This is true to my country. I don't know with your country, but there's no face to face. You just have to orient them, mentally condition them that this is a new normal and the setup is quite different for them. Second one is that you just have to navigate yourself and try to make yourself comfortable with platforms that are available to be used. Are you using Google Classroom, Teams, widget books? Are you using Zoom or Google Meet? You have to master the process of using this technology to make you comfortable, because when you are online and you're facing your students, so long as the internet is not lagging, you can actually make the face-to-face in online mode really works for them. And then there are also platforms that you could divide them by groups or chat, where they could make also their own pocket discussions along with themselves to group them, and then also give them also some task performance that they could do. Like for example, in chemistry, they could use their kitchen. There's vinegar, there's oil there. There are different chemicals that they could use at home. So it will become the basic commodities could help them a lot to still learn the process. All you have to do is just be creative and look for the materials where students can get their materials right at their own houses or homes where their parents could assess them. So not necessarily using sophisticated technology when it's not available in their own house or home. Third one is close mentoring. Even off the classroom, you have to open your Facebook, and because there are some students who would chat and making some inquiry, you should not shy away yourself from them, because at this point in time, they need also to you need also to establish a point where you could understand how they feel, because in these trying times, everything is not normal anymore. Mental health is very important. I heard some of the news across the globe that are some students actually are depressed and experiencing depressions, and they are suicidal. So all you have to do is just to be there. So the first advice that I have is that you have to understand, you have to make them understand that this is a new normal and there's a new setup. Condition their mind. Second is that navigate yourself and make yourself comfortable with the technologies and platforms that you have and that you can learn on and master this, and make some activities where they could use materials that are available at home. And then the third one also is open yourself for mentoring and counseling, where you could listen to them, listen not only about classroom, but listen about their frustrations and depressions. I hope I answer your question.
Okay, next, I want to uh, say, uh, in this pandemic situations, I use Edmodo as learning management system and some virtual lab to my students. But usually they work in group in class. But in this distant learning, it is good to make their work in group with integrated technology.
Yes, yes, there is an online platform where you could group them, share their screen with each other, and then still continue the learning opportunities. So never think, well, our students today are millennials and they're quite adaptive with the technologies, probably more than our skills or capabilities. They could also find ways to share. They could also find ways to still able to contact themselves and learn in a group or in a team.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Brian.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Okay, thank you very much,
Rizwan.
Ms. Putu, for the question. And I think Dr. Brian's answer also answered most of the participants' questions, because many of them find difficulties in motivate students during this new situation.
Rizwan, can I add?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Actually, because the topic is about what we learned, it's past tense, what we learned in Southeast Asian countries. Actually, we're not learning yet. We are in the process of learning. Come August, opening of classes, we'll be able to experience all these things. And probably by next year, we will have a first-hand experience of what went wrong, what went right, and then probably we can stage again, the KITEP in Science can stage again another colloquium such as this to share actually the challenges met and how we were able to solve these problems and difficulties. Because honestly, in the Philippines, we're just doing a lot of preparation. but I'm not sure which of these would really work depending on the types of students that we have, and of course the students on their part of how interested they are also to continue learning. Thank you, Rizwan.
Okay, thank you, Brian, for the additional answer. Okay, thank you, Ms. Putu, for your questions. So now I will read some questions from other participants. We have received a question from Michael Lezondra. I think it's from Philippines. The question is, what are your thoughts? What do you think about the grading system that we should consider, especially that is a reality that not all students will have the same tools and devices to use for distance learning? Should a pass or fail scheme be more ideal now rather than the old numerical grading system? What do
Well,
you
I'm
think?
not. I'm not actually Dep Ed. I'm not the secretary of Dep Ed. Probably our Department of Education has already thought of the grading system in order to modify that. We should probably go into the grounds and what is actually happening in the real fields. But in my own point of view is that I will not be strict, and I will not really oblige my students to really go into the process of learning a lot of things when they are not able to cope up. So I would probably advise an IEP or individualized education plan where some of my students would go printed materials. I would just check their output based on the printed materials and task performance being returned to me. When some of the students could go online and take online tests, I would also assess them how they should be assessed on that way. So there is no one size fits all, Rizwan. So you can do individualized actually, but you have to make sure that you will assess every needs of the students and make sure that you will not be very, very strict with your grading system, because at this point in time they're not just only thinking education, they're also thinking survival, and God knows they don't have food on their table, and that's quite a problem to most of the families in the Philippines, not only in the Philippines but in other third world countries. So you have to take easy. You just have to be glad that children are going to school and they are still continuously learning, and you have to be very happy because of that. That alone is already a very good proof that they support education and they would willingly continue their learning amidst this pandemic.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Okay, another questions from the participants. Brian, may I know whether your school has already reopened or not yet?
They what?
Your school has already reopened. So your student has back to
Opening?
school? Yes.
Our opening of the school is August 24.
Because
We're supposed to open in June 1, but because of the rising cases of the COVID, we already have a mandate that the opening of classes will still be August 24. So what we're doing right now is actually preparation. We have 3 months of preparation, doing modules, learning online, doing simulations and setups, training, retraining, upskilling, relearning and learning, and doing a lot of stops to get us ready for the eventuality in August 24.
yeah, okay. Because one of the participants asked a question: if the preparation for your school to the reopening of the school. So I think you have answered the question.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Brian. I think this is last questions for
Yes,
your
please.
session. No, that one is the last questions of the
Okay.
questions. Okay, so I think this is the end of your session.
Thank you,
Thank you very much,
Rizwan.
Teacher Brian, for your sharing. Really wonderful sharing. Okay, thank you, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, we have finished our first speakers session. Now we are moving to the second speakers of our webinar. And the second speaker will be Ms. Lisau Im from Malaysia. And I received information that today is the first day for Malaysia to reopen the school. And I heard that the Minister of Education of Malaysia will visit Ms. Lisao Im school today, and hopefully His Excellency will watch this webinar and join us here. It will be very honor for us. Okay, the second speaker of our webinar is Ms. Lisao Im. She is a chemistry excellence teacher at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Sri Bintang Utara, Malaysia. She was born in Penang, Malaysia, on 1 October 1984. She was graduated from University Science of Malaysia for her bachelor degree in science education. And we can see so many achievements that she has achieved. So in 2016, she was awarded by the first place of the Ki Hajar Dewantara Award by Senior Cadet in Science. And in 2019, she was awarded by Award of Honors 20th ICTEL. And still in the same year, it's very great achievements. She was awarded by Knowledge Services for Global Teacher Award. And in 2019 also, she was awarded by the Ministry of Education Malaysia as Edufluencer. And in 2020, she achieved an award as National Excellence Teacher. So many achievements that she received. And now let's start our second speaker's presentation. So, Ms. Lisao Im, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, our lovely moderator, Mr. Izwan, and all the panelists and also the participants. Allow me to share my screen. Hello, good morning. My name is Lisao Im. I'm second lieutenant. I'm the chemistry excellent teacher from SMK Sri Bintang Utara, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So I would like to take this opportunity to share with the participants about science teaching and learning in the new normals, and I will focus on the challenges and also the initiatives. Before I start, I would like to take this opportunity to thank KITAB to give me this opportunity to invite me to share with the participants. So this is myself. I'm having a chemistry excellent teacher, and I taught in the education already 30 years. And I'm actually in my school, I'm the head of chemistry panels. I'm in charge in innovation, STEM, and also PLC. And here are some of my awards. Part of it already mentioned by our moderator just now. And this will be my higher achievement in the global international. So as you know, I'm the first K Hajar Awards in 2016. And last year I got one award, Global Teacher Award. Okay, before I move on, I would like to do one activity. Everyone, can you get ready your handphone? Okay, I would like to invite the participant. Can you scan the QR code here to join one active poll? So you can use one word to explain why you want to join this webinar. Okay, upgrade. I can see here. Thank you. Come on, come on. Okay, so at the same time, is actually I want to share with the participants. This is how we can interact our online teaching, our class with our students. Okay, great. Yes, learning to learn from great teachers' experience, new knowledge, passion, improvement, challenging, hope, relearn, upgrade. At the same time, we also can tell our student, please look at the questions. Use one word only. So this is the way we can interact with our students when we are having online teachings. Yes, correct. One word only. So learning, innovative. Those type more than one word, you get wrong. You can try again. Yes, well done. Curious, information blended. Okay, exploring. Yeah, very good. You are very innovative. One word only. One word only. Yes, great. STEM. This is lovely word I want to see. Love. Okay, upskilling. Curious. Yes, very good. Keep on, keep on. Okay, I can see here we have 110 people join the active pool. Okay, come on. Yes, great. Okay, learning, love, inspiration, interested, growth, alignment, benchmarking, retooling. Lee, wow, my name also in. Okay, okay, I'm going to close this in my count of 10. Okay, 10, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. I would like to stop this poll for a while. You can continue later. Okay, so next one. Yeah, so if you can see in the screen here, for those, I still remember last week was the first webinar, and Ibu Lily already introduced about third K Hajar Awards for the Indonesian participant to apply. So here I would like to share the one that I got, the first batch of K Hajar, when I got the first place in Bandung. After that, in that year, I think is in the September, I was invited to Bangkok in conjunction of senior high com meetings, and I received the awards again from the Education Minister of Thailand. So here I would like to address my sincere thanks to KITAC to give me this opportunity. From Bandung, I went to Bangkok, and this is our Malaysian delegates. Okay, so after introducing myself and little bit of my achievement, here I would like to share about what we are looking for. What are the participants looking for? As we know now is during the COVID-19 pandemic's problems, many schools, I believe, many schools from all over the world, they stop schooling. Children cannot go to school. And then teachers also having problem, want to have the class or maybe want to pass, give the student the homework. Many people have problem, including me as well. So my talk will be focused on these three. Number one is challenges during COVID-19 pandemic. Then I will share how to overcome the uncertain challenges. After that is the returns and sweet memory. So for my session, I will, because I was asked to share about my teaching experience and also my initiative during this COVID-19. So I will not focus on more on my achievement and my students' activity. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, first one I'm going to talk about is the challenges during COVID-19 pandemic. So as we know, this COVID-19 is, the challenges will be volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and it also ambiguity, because no one, maybe you cannot say what will happen. You can predict 100% correctly what will happen tomorrow or maybe in this afternoon, right? So that's why we say this is VUCA. VUCA is a new terms to describe the challenges, not only teachers, students, parents, educators. I think all the people in the world, they're having this problem. So we have these VUCA challenges. Okay, here I would like to share this quote. To me, is very, very useful for me. Challenges are what make life interesting, and overcome them is what makes life meaningful. Can you hear the bell? This is my school bell. Okay, I repeat again. Challenges are what make life interesting. If the life without the challenge, I don't think we can survive for maybe 100 years, 50 years, or 30 years. I strongly believe challenges are what make life interesting. And more interesting is, more meaningful is, we need to overcome the challenges. Don't avoid the challenge. Don't scare the challenge. Take the challenge. Look at the challenge as a opportunity. Okay, here are some of the challenges that what I found out, and maybe you agree with me, or if not agree, you can find other challenges. To me, the first challenges is how we want to engage, or how the engagement between teachers and students. So this is very important. If the teachers cannot engage with students, then you don't talk about teaching. You don't talk about distant teaching, or you don't talk about remote teaching, and so on. Besides that, another challenge is does not have right gadget or lack of gadgets. And another problem, quite big problem for us, is the poor internet accessibility. Besides that, teachers, including me, although I already taught about 30 years, myself, I don't even dream I'm going to teach online. I'm going to have distant teaching. So this is first year I'm having distant teaching, online teaching. Besides that, teacher also lacks skill in online teaching pedagogy. As we know, physical teaching and remote teaching is totally a different things. We can't apply the same pedagogy in the physical teaching in the remote teaching. It's totally different. Okay? And then another challenges is the problem of how we want to send, or maybe how we want to print the learning materials to students, to make sure that the student, after they learn some theory or some concepts or some formula, they want to practice, to test their understanding. So these are some of the challenges that I think is happened during the COVID-19. So how are we going to overcome these uncertain challenges? Do you have any idea? Okay, later we will discuss about this. So to me, the challenges, the first challenges or the first party in the school need to solve this problem, these challenges will be our administrator. Okay, for example, our kepala sekolah. Okay, in Indonesia it's called kepala sekolah. In Malaysia we call pengetua for secondary school, and we call guru besar for primary school. Okay, it's headmistress. So for my school, SMK Sri Bintang Utara, so my administrator take the challenge and take the opportunity to brief our students about what is COVID-19, the precaution, the do and don'ts, and the moral value. And we always tell them, stay at home and be safe. So this is my lovely principals, Mr. Muhammad Haizir and bin Muhammad Saleh, our excellent principal. He is the one take the opportunity. He said, I want to meet the student, but how to meet the student? So we use the Google Meet. So you can see, we meet the student form by form. So during the meeting, my principal did it himself. He briefed the student about what is COVID-19 and how the SOP to avoid or to the precaution to the student. And at the same time, I was given the opportunity to share with the student how to use Google Classroom, because our student before this never use about Google Classroom. They not even know how to log in, how to join the class, how to get the assignment from the teachers. So I take the opportunity, I learn myself, and I share with my student. So luckily, the student also keen to learn. So this is one of the initiatives done by my school. Okay, for myself, how to overcome the uncertain challenge. These are the things that I found out. So I say you need to unlearn, relearn, and then research. And also after I am the chemistry teacher, so I do one formula, okay, formula. So if chemistry, right, for example, you will say acid react with alkali to form salts and water, right? So here, I make a formula to combine all these challenges. So to me, unlearn, relearn, research. So why we need to unlearn? Like just now, our friend Brian also mentioned. So like many teachers, we are the experienced teacher. We know how to teach well in physical classroom. But in the virtual classroom, we are not good at all, right? So we need to unlearn. After we unlearn, we need to go and to relearn how to conduct the virtual teaching, virtual classroom, right? So relearn, and then beside that, we need to do research. Why we need to do research? We need to find out what are the best way, what are the best platform, or what are the best gadgets to conduct the virtual classroom and to engage. The important is to engage our student. After we have unlearned, relearn, research, we need to plan, do, and check. Do our planning, the PDC. Okay. So after we have planned, we have do, and then we have to check whether this method, this platform working or not. If not working, we need to find another way. Okay. As we know, this time is no one is expert. So we learn might be from our mistake, and then we become better and better. So after we become better, become excellent, don't forget the sharing. We need to share around our teachers, the staff, the colleagues in our school, in our country, in our zone, or maybe in international level, like we are doing now. Okay, so here I would like to share what are the activities that I did during the MCO. MCO in my country is the movement control order. So during the movement control order, we cannot go out, simply go out, and no school in my country. So I have 5 here. Number 1 is online teaching. Secondly is about problem-based learning. Third, about live sharing to home Malaysia student. Number 4 is PLC, peer learning community, to embark digital learning for my school and also the KL state, Kuala Lumpur state. Finally, live sharing to educator on the motivation talk. Online teaching. How I did the online teaching? Yeah, So before we can start our online teaching, as a teacher, we need to align the curriculum to study the document standard. After that, we need to choose suitable platform, prepare materials, and the important, we need to engage our students. So here I would like to share with you some tips that I found out from my research and also from my experience. Number one, when you are doing the online teaching, you need to have visual. One picture can say 1,000 words. Secondly, we also need some sort like digital whiteboard so that we can write, so that our student can see that we really conduct the real class with them. Chat. We need to chat. We need to ask some students the question. Then some students they very shy. They don't want to on their mic to talk, but they will write their message or their problem or their question in the chat box. Audio discussion. Okay, maybe you can have breakout room for students to hold the discussion, and also the pooling like what I did just now. And then annotation too is also very important. So here you can see these are the tools, the gazette that we need to use. We really depends on them to conduct our online teaching effectively. Okay, here also many gazettes, apps that very useful to conduct our online teachings. Okay, so I would like to conduct one more session. You can continue. Okay, so which of the following you use the most during COVID-19? I want to do one survey. Recorded video, use video from YouTube, worksheets, home-based experiment, the PBL, quiz. Yes, most of you use the video from the YouTube. Okay, very good. Okay. Yeah, I can see many of you using the quiz, the video from the YouTube, quiz, worksheets, home-based experiment. Yeah. Wait, I cannot see the PBL. Not many using the PBL, only 10%. Others, we have 14%, 13%. Okay, keep doing. Yeah. Okay, I hope we can more than 100 people join this active pool. Yeah, still the video from the YouTube become our favorites. Wow, teacher also very good. You are very hardworking. You prepare worksheets for your students. Quiz. Some even record the video. Okay. Yes, very good. Oh, very few people doing the PBL. Yeah, might be you feel, you think that is difficult. Oh, reading already 10%. Okay. Still the video from the YouTube become champion. The champion, 74%. Worksheets, 57. Okay, so I'm going to count down. If you want to do the survey, you quickly, I'm going to count down in the 10. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, sorry, you can continue later. Okay, so here I would like to share with you, this is our Malaysia, the Ministry of Education. On the 14th of June, we just launched the new look, new face. Last time it's called Digital Learning, DL. Now it changed its name to Digital Education Learning Initiative Malaysia. The short form is called DELIMA. DELIMA is Digital Education Learning Initiative Malaysia. So in this dilemma, it have our MOE already collaborate with Google Classroom, Microsoft with the team, and also the Apples. So like for me, I'm using Google Classroom and also using the team as well. Okay, so here I show you this as part of some of the class, my Google Classroom here. Okay. And here I will very proud with my Malaysia's teachers. Thank you, Malaysia's teacher. You are the hero. And you can see here, this is the statistic on the 17th of April 2020. Malaysia become the top search for Google Classroom. Very happy with Malaysia's teacher. Proud of you, teacher. Okay, here is some of my online teaching. Okay, part of it I show you two here. So in my online teaching, I prepared my PowerPoint. I not only using PowerPoint, I use Padlets and others apps as well. So here you can see, these are the the apps that I use to conduct my online classes. I use a Google Meet, I use a Zoom, Google Classroom, and also the team. Okay, during the online classes, to make the student involved, two ways teaching and learning, we need to put some online quiz. For example, this is a quizzy. My student love to play this quiz, but be sure not the whole 1 hour playing the quiz. Quiz is just you can start, you can do the quiz at the start or maybe the end of the lesson. Remember, don't use the quiz throughout the whole lesson. Okay, beside that, so maybe science teacher, you may ask, how about the experiment? How we can conduct the experiment during the COVID-19 or during when we are having the online teachings? So here are some of my suggestions. We can record videos, we can embed videos from YouTube, and beside that, we also can do home-based experiment. Okay, let me share with you. So for example, last week, I have one official work. I need to went back to school. So I take the opportunity to run to my chemistry lab, and I thank my lab assistant. Two of them very good, very helpful. They helped me to get the materials, apparatus, and help me to record the videos. So this experiment is to compare the hardness between the pure metal and alloy. So I record the video to show them how to conduct this experiment. Okay, so teacher, when you want to show video, you can mute the sounds, or you can pause when it reach to the important point. So that this will have the interaction between us and the student. So this one is the first one, and then second part is I show them how really to conduct the experiment. Okay, so when I'm doing here, I'm showing this video, I can pause and I can mute the video, and I can throw the question to the student, ask them what is the hypothesis and what is the variables, manipulator variable, responding variables, or what are the constant variables. So this is the one that we try to have interaction, the two-way interactions with the student. And student might be on their mic to tell us, or maybe they will write the answer in the chat box. Okay, this is the video that I recorded. Besides that, for example, let's say we want to explain or discuss one very difficult theory and we can't do it at home, then we can take the video from the YouTube. So teachers, make sure that I see just now the highest poll is you take the video from the YouTube, right? So before we show the video to the student, teacher, please check the video, whether it's suitable or not. You can cut or you can trim the video to the respective places that we need. For example, I want to talk about how to compare the electron structure affect the reactivity of group 17. So I can show this video, right? Sometimes I would like to on the thing and sometimes I would like to mute so that I can explain, okay? What I want the student to see is they can see the changes. They can see the observation. For example, this, okay? They can see the observation clearly. That I can pause. Then I can ask questions. So this is how we use the YouTube's video. Remember, teacher, you don't just use a video and show to the student, that's it. You must make the video effectively, yeah? Okay, then only we ask questions, we throw the questions and then shows why this happened and also check with them the fact, give one by one. Okay, we don't show them straight away, the animation. So this is how we use the YouTube video. Or maybe the video share from your friends, okay? So beside that, so if you look at here, this is the Bloom's technology, digital taxonomy. So if just memorize thing is very, very low. It's low order thinking questions. If we ask the student to analyze, to apply and evaluate some things, to share, that will be the higher order thinking questions. So remember, although we are having difficulty during this pandemic time, but we also don't forget about the HOTS, the higher order thinkings. Next, okay, so you can see here, this is when I'm teaching periodic tables, and in conjunction that time is having the Hari Raya, and then I can ask my student design a New Year card, the Hari Raya cards, but must use the elements. Can see the element, the symbol of elements? Yeah, the kids very, very creative and innovative. You can get a lot of very, very good cards. Okay. So beside this, okay, I also make use of I also use the Google slide. The Google slide is very good. We can share to the students and we can use Bimoji. So I simply make one channel. It's called SBU Young Chemist channel. And I share the Google slide to the student and they can do it very, very well. Then they can hyperlink the video to the websites or maybe to the journals to explain what they want to study about periodic table. Okay, so we can use the Bimoji. Okay, beside that, maybe you will ask, only use the video, the student cannot hands-on. That is our big problem, the STEM and the science teacher. Our big problem is student cannot hands-on experiment. So here I would like to share with you some of the home-based experiment and activity. Okay, for example, when I'm teaching carbon compound fermentation, so we can ask students to conduct the fermentation at home. You can see this is my student. They are twins, pair of them in my class. So they conduct the experiment, the fermentation by using the yeast and the fruit juice. Okay, they can really test the production, yeah, the ethanol and also the carbon dioxide. They even go and find the lime water to test to prove that the lime water turned chalky, to make sure that the carbon dioxide is produced. It's so awesome, right? Okay. Beside that, secondly, about the soap. Okay, my student also can conduct the home-based experiment. They can compare the effectiveness between the soap and detergent in the different way. Maybe they control the concentration or the medium of the medium. Okay, so this girl used the concentration. That you can see here. After using this is using the detergent and this is using the soap. It's very clear that detergent is more effective compared to the soap as a cleansing agent. This girl very innovative. She even worked with the help with the brother. He even record the video. I would like to share with the video, but this ephemera here. So she's explained very well. Yeah. Okay, she even control the variables, the manipulated variable and also the constant variables. You can see they use, So might be, teacher, you have other idea. You can do many home-based experiment. Doesn't need to have beakers and you must have the glass rod. You can use spill. You can use like this plastic, the recycles spoon. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Here you can see. Yeah, so here she even can explain very well about the hypothesis and also the variables. Okay, next I would like to share with you. So another one, this is a boy. He conducted the same experiment but in a different way. So you can see here, this is before. Okay, before the experiment, all the dirt is the same quantity, the same quality of the cloth, and then this is after experiment. Okay, then the stain, you can compare the stain on the cloth, so you can answer the question which cleansing agent will be the better one. Even conduct tabulate the data in the table clearly. Okay, next one is, this is not experiment, this is home-based activity because you cannot manipulate any variables. So like for example, my chemistry, the last topic about chemical for consumer. So my student, they do the piglet food. This is the papaya. Okay, you can organize it nicely. It's like go to restaurant, right? Okay, finally he managed to produce a piglet papaya. Okay, another one. Another girls do almost the same, but they use the different materials. So she prepared the piglet with the cucumber and put some chilies. And this girl's chili piglet. Yeah, she used the chili to make this. So in the while here, my student will explain why they use the sauce, why they use the vinegars, right? So as a preservative. So just now is about the home-based activity and experiment. So the next one is just now we the post very low percentage the science teacher using the problem-based learning. Even the maths teacher also you can use the problem-based learning. We have problem and also the project. But for this time, I only managed to do the problem-based learning. Okay, so how I did my problem-based learning is when I'm teaching chapter 5, the chemical bonds. So chemical bond is involving ionic compound and also the covalent compound. So plastic is under covalent compound. So I take this opportunity to give my student the problem-based learning about the plastic. I show them this photo, then they say, teacher, you're so bad. All people throw the bottles and the rubbish everywhere. So I say, so what can you do to help us to reduce the plastic waste? Then I give them problem statement. I give them assignment to do, to find out, to design and to find out the way how they can reduce the plastic waste. So here I would like to share how we can conduct the problem-based learning. Okay, number one, we set in the team. Okay, so might be teacher, you say, the student cannot meet each other. How we can set a teamwork? Don't worry, the student will find a way. Just the teacher, you need to give them little bit tips. For example, how they can conduct the discussion. They can do the discussion by using the Google Meet. They even can do their report by sharing the Google Slide. They can do together at the same time. So they don't need to like email to each other and then to waste a lot of time. They can use the Google Slide and Google Doc. Okay, and then we give them duration, must give them time, and then way to solve problem. Okay, suggest and ask them to find a way to solve the problem. And they must come up one innovation, innovate a design. Might be they want to innovate a car or a robot to clear the rubbish, to clear the plastic waste. And after a duration, might be, let's say I give them about 3 weeks or 4 weeks. After that duration, I organize one virtual Q&A session. So during the Q&A session, every team will personally, virtually, to present to me, and I will question them about their ways and also their design. This is a very, very fantastic to the student. All my students love this virtual Q&A session because they say, what, teacher, we don't have this experiment. We don't know how to share screen. Then I take this opportunity. I say to my student, when I'm teaching online, I share screen because I don't have experience in online teaching. I'm very bad at the beginning. You complain teacher not good. So now you know the difficulty to share screen or to do virtual presentation. Then only they appreciate all my initiative. So during this problem-based learning, of course, it will enhance 4C. What is 4C? I'm sure all the teachers know the 4C, the creativity, communication, innovative, yeah. Okay, and then when I conduct this problem-based learning, I got one very, very good news, very, very happy. So I would like to share with you here. So I have one good news. I sent my 4 teams of my students to attend, to join an international competition. Last two weeks, I received the email. 3 teams of them selected to the final round in international competition. Here, I would like, I cannot tell you anything yet because it's still under evaluation. Please pray for my student. This Friday, they are going to have the Q&A virtual with the organizer. Okay. Next, after I do with the student, I also do the professional ISMA sharing. For example, PLC to embark digital learning. So after I take about 1 week to learn, unlearn, relearn, research and plan, and I started my online teachings. After that, I'm very confident myself, and I take this opportunity to share with my school's colleagues, to embark them to learn about how to use a Google Classroom, and also to have the interactive way to conduct the online teaching. Besides that, I also chosen as a educator and a master trainer for the Kuala Lumpur about the Google Classroom and also the Quizy. So to me, sharing is caring. We don't ask any money. I don't ask any money. I don't ask any reward. I just want to share so that many teachers, many educators will have this digital learning, digital skills so that they can conduct their classes. And then the rewards is go back to the student. The student can follow the class, and meaning that no school but the class is on. Besides that, I also invited to give a motivation and inspiring webinar from a teacher college. You can scan this and you can find this video, this in the YouTube. It's about, yesterday I checked, it's about 10,642 views. So those, for those educator or participant here, if you would like to join or to participate in the 3rd K Hajar Awards, you must go and listen about this sharing. This sharing, I thought about how and what I did so until I get the award from the 2 global awards, the K Hajar and also the Global Teacher Awards. Okay, you can check this in the YouTube. Besides that, I also joined the ED-Day. Yeah, in here I share how to conduct the action research. To me, the action research is very, very important to all the teachers. All the teachers, you should do the action research, because the action research actually is to find out the solution to overcome our teaching and learning problem, so that our student we will improve our teaching, then our student will have a better teaching and learning from us. Okay, so here are some of the motivation and inspiring webinar that I contribute to Malaysia's teacher. You can also find this in the YouTube. Yeah, beside that, okay, I also do the live sharing for the students in Malaysia. I think I'm the first one conduct the live sharing with the student. Yeah, my first live sharing is not good, not that good. But second one, very, very good. Because the first one, I don't have more experience. Okay, after that, I learn a lot. Then I do better than the first one. Okay, this is the one that in the YouTube, you also can find it. It's about the predict table. Okay, this is the live sharing also for the student about numerical problem in chemistry. Okay, beside that, before the COVID-19, I also invited to the social media, the TV3, Uptown, and the IFM to give the inspiration talk to the educator and maybe the parents as well. You also can find this in the YouTube. Okay, the return. What is meant by the return and sweet memory? Yeah, so on the 16th May is our Malaysia's Teachers' Day. So I'm very happy and proud. My name was announced by my lovely Prime Minister. I was awarded as an excellent teacher. Okay, another good news just now I say, the returns, the 3 teams selected to the final round in an international competition. And lastly, I would like to share with you this. Okay, so when I give assignment to my student, I use the Google Teams, the Microsoft team. I send them PowerPoint to do their homework. Okay, so when they turn in, I mark their homework page by page, slide by slide. Then until I move to the last slide, I saw this. I want to cry when I read this. So at least our students, they appreciate teachers. So this is the moral value that I always include. Although I'm the chemistry teacher, during my teaching, I always talk with them about the moral value. Okay, I will talk to them how to respect people, and they must also respect their friend, their parents, and teachers as well. Okay, recap back. This is what I said just now, the relearn, unlearn. Okay, here I would like to ask teacher to do a feedback for me. You can scan this QR code to do the feedback in the Google form. So, learning is not the product of teaching. Learning is the product of the activity of learners. I'm sure teachers and all the participants, you agree with John Hall. Yeah, I repeat, learning is the product of the activity of learners. Okay. A big thanks to Simeo Kitab in Science. I got this award the first place, and I got USD 5,000 to sponsor my educations, like for example, to the international seminar and etc. Okay, thank you. Before I end, I would like to continue one survey. You already done 3, right? So this is the last one you must do. The third one. Okay, just now in the beginning, you only give 1 word, right? Okay, now I request you to type 3 words. Okay, yeah? Follow the instruction. Type 3 words to describe your feedback on this sharing. 3 words about my sharing. Three words. So this is the way when we do a class with student, make sure the student read the instruction carefully. 3 words, yeah? Okay. Very inspiring teacher. Love your ideas. Love your idea. Very useful. Okay. Keep doing. Keep doing. Yeah, thank you. Hope my you and inspire more educator, and we can all put our hand together, all the educators, we improve the educator and we fight this COVID-19. And don't forget, do what you love and love what you do. So it's not only here, like for example, my other teachers in Malaysia, some of them do a lot of video in the YouTube. They contribute the what do you call that? The quiz, yeah, with the Google form. And we also do the Edu TV. Okay, we are invited to record our video, and it will post it will live in the television channels. Okay, inspiring. Yes. Keep going, keep doing. 3 words, yeah? 3 words. Not 1, huh? 3 words. Okay. Do more, do more. We have 492 in the Zoom room, and outside, yeah? Outside also we have. Okay, yes. Yeah, I hope after this we'll have more teachers, more educators come out from your school, come out, maybe from your country, to share a lot of your best practices or anything, your innovation, so that we can adapt your innovation, your idea, and we can apply in our class. Okay. Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah. So before I end, I will take this opportunity. Firstly, I will thank my lovely principal, Mr. Muhammad Haizir Muhammad Saleh, to give this opportunity to use this nice room for this webinar, and also to thank my Ministry of Education to give us free the Delima with the Google Classroom, the Team, Apples, and other apps as well. And lastly, but don't forget about the KITAB, the in science, K Haja and Ibu Lili Izwan. We have a very nice, a very good connection since 2016. Okay, I wait until 200. I will stop. I will close this. Yeah, two more, faster. 199. One more. Yes, 200. Okay, I temporarily stop this. You can continue. You can continue. Okay, so with that, I end my sharing here. Thank you very much. Okay, again, a big thank to CMU Kitab in Science. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Cik Gulisoim. For sharing your ideas, insights, and also your inspiring experience. And now we're going to move to the discussion session. We have already have one participant who want to ask a question to you, Mr. Raymond Gon. Hello, Mr. Raymond.
Yeah.
Mr. Raymond?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. So, yes, you can hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so please ask your question.
Ma'am, thank you for your sharing. I would like to know how are we going to grade our students online? Shall we base it from their scores from the activities online, or shall we consider other parameters? Thank you.
Very sorry, Mr. Iwan, I can't hear clearly.
Again.
I cannot
how
hear
are we
the,
going
the,
to
the
grade?
question.
Yeah, hello, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, may I help to deliver the question? So, Mr. Raymond asked about how are we going to grade our students? Shall we base it only from their scores online, or are there any other parameters to consider?
Oh, the grading. Okay, to me, for during this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic sessions, I didn't really grade the students strictly follow like when we are having physical classroom. So I give them a bit loose. Okay, for example, like experiment, or like how to write the reports. I guide them. I give them the video and show them, and then at the first I give them a template. Give them a template, so they just fill in the template, and they will turn in to me. After they turn in, I will check and I will give them the feedback. Which one they cannot get the right score because of some of the technical problem, or some of the terms that they use is wrongly used. Yeah, it's that. And then, for example, to me for this session, I didn't really focus on the grading. To me, the learning is more important than the grading during this session, because what we want is because our students also have a culture shocks, I think. Yeah, many students, they have culture shocks. They need to have counseling as well to overcome this problem, because might be not only the learning problem. Some of them, they come from a very poor family, or maybe they have many siblings in a family. So they sometimes they not even can online teaching, attend my online classes, right? Because they have many siblings, they need to share only one laptop, or maybe they don't have the laptop, they only have handphone, that's all. So, but as a teacher, we try. So although those that one that cannot join my Google Meet, my Zoom classes, I will send them any way, any apps that they can engage with me. For example, I need to do extra work, I will send personally to them by using WhatsApp and also by using the Telegram as well. Most of the students, they have WhatsApp. Okay? Yeah. Does it answer your questions?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for that enlightenment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Raymond, for the questions, and also to Ms. Rizal Im for the answer. And unfortunately, due to the time limitation, we can only have one question for this session. And yeah, again, I would like to say thank you, Ms. Rizal Im, for your sharing, your ideas, your experience and achievements are really inspiring for other teachers. Okay, thank you, Ms. Rizal Im.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, dear participants, now we are moving to the next speaker of today's webinar. For the third speaker, we have Dr. Hari Firman, who has already who will join us here at the office of Simulated in Science. I would like to invite Dr. Hari. Good afternoon, Dr. Hari.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. First, I would like to introduce our third speaker for today's webinar. Our third speaker is Dr. Hari Firman. He is an expert of Simulated in Science. He was born in Bandung, Indonesia on 8 October 1952. He was graduated from Sultan Idris Education University, Malaysia for his doctoral degree in chemistry education. And he has so many recognitions. He has published many research papers and also became speakers in many international conferences. And also, he has a registered copyright on science virtual test to assess secondary school students' critical thinking and virtual lab STEM. It's very interesting. Okay, now we can start our third speaker's presentation. Can we show his presentation slides?
Okay, all right. The honorable participant of this webinar, good afternoon, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Taking this opportunity, I would like to share with you about the topic of bottom-up innovation for keeping our students learn science in COVID-19 pandemic. It is actually being promoted by the SIKIS Center through several channels. One of them is research grant, SIKIS research grant. Okay, so next please. So this presentation will point out 7 things. Namely, first, plan toward the new normal era in Indonesia. Yeah, and then COVID-19 impact on science learning, and then science teaching practices during pandemic COVID-19 crisis, yeah, initiated by teachers. And then available, we are discussing about available resources of digital content for science learning provided by government and private sector. And then recent problem in running digital science learning. And then bottom-up innovation to solve problem. And finally, we would like to discuss about the female Kitab in Science, SIKIS, research grant program, as I mentioned earlier. So about plan toward new normal era, maybe the normal. Okay, thank you. So like this. All right.
Next.
Oh, next. Okay. So plan toward new normal era in education sector, in schooling sector, may be different with the economic sector, right? Because we have to careful about the schooling. According to Ministry of Education, we will start to reopen school next year, beginning in January next year, 2021. And nowadays we are still in transition era, yeah, transition. The Ministry of Education and Culture asked school in green area meaning the spread of the COVID-19 can be controlled well. But the important criteria is agreed by parent. If parent don't agree, then the school will close again. And it means that the teaching learning will be run through online. Yeah. Okay. Yes, since last 10 years, we try to innovate the science learning, yeah, to shift science learning from one-way learning, from teacher-centered to become student-centered through inquiry-based learning and then STEM-based science learning. So we call it, we successful will construct the new feature of the science learning in school. We call it gold standard of science learning, which are observation, full of experiment and observation, and then student doing project, a lot of collaborative work, group work, and a lot of interaction among students, and then focus on both content and as well as some process skills. Yeah. And then through STEM, we also develop student competence in doing engineering design process. So they have to apply their knowledge on science to solve a real problem. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What students did during last crisis? First, there are at least there are three types of teaching learning. First is online learning through video conferences technology using slides. Yeah, it's because we are fortunately we have now video conference technology, and we use it, particularly in free video conference provided by Zoom, at least Zoom and Google and so on. Then assignment to read chapter of student textbook and answer question. This is assessment for assignment for student. Yeah. So teacher and student communicate through WhatsApp group. Yeah. And then instruction to watch learning resources available on internet, including YouTube videos. Yeah, that's 3 types of learning modes happen in Indonesia in general. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of the learning digital content resources provided by government through, we call it Rumah Belajar. Rumah Belajar means house of learning. This is actually a video, but I just captured the icon of the program. Yeah. So the Rumah Belajar is a platform providing learning content, learning management system for digital classroom and other resources. Yeah. And enable its use. It's actually it's not the specific effort in the pandemic era, but it's moving from toward digital era. Then the other resource is they call it X-Science, experimental science, yeah, provided by television, national television of Republic of Indonesia. We call it TVRI. Yeah, so they provide a platform to teach science to kids. There are many videos provided, science demonstration, as you may see the screen. But in my opinion, there are some problems faced in learning science using digital tools. First one is limited digital content for science learning that available in Indonesian language. Yeah? Even though the Rumah Belajar and X-Science provided by television but it's not cover all of topic and of curriculum of science, beginning from elementary to become secondary, upper secondary school. So very limited. And then students feel bored and having burdening assignment without guidance. So a lot of teachers just give assignment for the student to first to see the video conference, just listening and listening the what the teacher talk and what the slide they have. And after that, usually the teacher give assignment. But because no communication, no intensive communication, then students feel bored because no guidance, yeah, no intensive guidance. The third one is teacher is lacking of knowledge and skill for running online instruction, even though they have digital tools, but because lacking of the pedagogy, online pedagogy, the teaching learning is not very effective. Yeah, because I understand that in college, the teacher college, no specific pedagogy. It means that the online pedagogy doesn't usually it's not part of their training. And number 4 is availability of technical support in internet and laptop gadget is not spread equally. Yeah, there are many schools particularly in remote area, in rural area, don't have enough internet, yeah, and then also the tools for learning through internet. And then there's a problem. So, in my opinion, we have to solve our problem by innovation. Yeah, innovation is, as mentioned by many literature, is the development of new method and devices to solve problem or to make improvement. Yeah, can solve problems. So we have to create new way, new devices. Yeah, there are two kind of innovation in education. First is we call it top-down innovation. That is innovation initiated, funded, promoted, and disseminated by government, like Rumah Belajar and TVRI, Television Republic of Indonesia, and many other institutions. Yeah, so large-scale innovation. But because of limitation of product of top-down innovation, we also need bottom-up innovation. What is bottom-up innovation? Bottom-up innovation is small-scale, planned by professional teachers, piloted in a limited number of schools, maybe 1 or 2 schools, and shared to their peers. So we just stress the bottom-up innovation to solve our problem in delivering science to our students. Yeah, at least we have 2 problems. Yeah, and we need to solve those problems through innovation. First, our problem is the available online science learning resources still cover in limited curriculum content knowledge. Yeah. So, what kind of innovation we have to do? First, teachers need to develop online learning resources, including materials such as, say, worksheet to run or video, yeah, to run the online learning. And problem number 2, mostly online learning content available are knowledge explanation. Just even though learning Rumah Belajar provide video, but it's just explaining the science phenomena. It's not that kind of teaching learning is not the gold standard type, because no interaction, no hands-on. Yeah, so I propose that teacher need to develop online learning unit. Yes, that follow video presentation. Okay, video presentation. Okay, yeah, it's available there. Everybody can access. But in learning situation, through the Zoom, in the learning processes should be interactive. There is opportunity for students to ask questions, to share their impression. Yeah, so we need a lot of discussion led by teachers in this case. And then we have to provide follow-up activity. Yeah, real after learning through online, the student need to have kind of real offline activity as a follow-up of the video conference, such as hands-on activities, for student, maybe observation on or experiment using material and devices available in their house, using kitchen equipment, something like that. So the third one is we have to provide opportunity for students to share what they did and found in online class, next online class. So online learning is not just transmission of knowledge, but also ask students to do something, to do science. So they learn by doing, they explore by observation and experiment. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to little bit talk about what Semio Kitab Science do in the case of bottom-up innovation. So we established a channel for stimulating teachers, science teachers to innovate through we call it research grant, SIKIS research grant. The grants is facilitating teachers to product innovative online science learning, and also science unit, and also we provide guidance for them to do the innovation, and then we also help them to disseminate through journal or magazine and so on. So the grant is open to science teachers in Asian countries. This year we are now in processing. We already selected for around 40 proposal will be funded by SIKIS in order to run the research, developmental research to create digital content that required in online learning. And I would like to show you about this is only 10 proposal, 10 research proposal accepted. For example, a teacher proposed to develop online learning with discovery learning model aided by WhatsApp, to improve student achievement in environmental change topic for grade 7 specific grade. The second one is effectiveness of chemistry virtual laboratory on science acid-based titration for senior high school. So a teacher would like to check effectiveness of the virtual lab that she developed. The third one is the use of physics electronic module, e-module, on fluid with STEM project-based learning to enhance higher order thinking skill of public vocational school, number one in a certain city or district. Number 4 is effectiveness of online learning with Google Classroom on STEM-based global warming to grade 7 in the junior high school. The other example is development and application of science learning using Android on vibration and waves. And number 6, development of augmented reality media on repairing broken battery for distance learning, and then development of microcontrol physics laboratory work with STEM approach to for online learning. And then the use of augmented based virtual laboratory to support online learning on urban area. And then the development of digital books on kind of a certain plan to enhance junior high school student environmental literacy through distance learning. And then the final one, just 10 example, implementation of the Jungle application as learning media. So the teacher developed an application, he called it the Jungle as learning media for grade 5 student. So those are the example of the proposal. 10 out of 40 proposal. I so the proposal is for stimulating the other teacher to make proposal for innovating their teaching, the science teaching. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention. Yeah, if any question, then we are ready to discuss. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hari, for your presentation. And we have already a participant who want to ask a question. It is Editha Gon.
Yes.
So can we see Miss Editha Gon? Hello, Miss Editha.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So please, you can ask your questions.
Good afternoon, sir. I would like to ask, with all the modification we do to address the different challenges brought by this COVID-19 pandemic, how do we cultivate a healthy learning culture among students?
Okay, Dr. Hari, so the question is...
it's not so clear for me, but could you...
yeah, okay. So, Ms. Editha's questions is, since the pandemic caused many challenges, so we have to do some modifications to address the challenges. And how do we cultivate, how do we create a healthy learning culture among students?
Yes, I think, yeah. So the student feel, I mean, the new culture is coming. Yeah, usually they use interactive discussion in group, doing something, but suddenly, because of pandemic, coronavirus pandemic, they become a new culture. So a lot of listening. Learning science is listening, just listening. So we have to move again back to the gold, we call it gold standard for science learning. So why I propose that after student learning, watching the video, science video, the teacher should ask them to do some things as a follow-up, to do something scientifically in their house, such as observation, something, and experimenting, using material that are available in their house, like water, like leaves, plant leaf, and many kind of science phenomena available in their house. So that's kind of we move back to the real culture of the science learning. I hope it's quite clear for you.
I thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Edita, for your questions. And now we move to the next question. We have a question from Ms. Nelly Baharudin from South Sulawesi, Indonesia. She asked about how do we measure student success during online learning?
Okay, yeah. What we think in assessment is usually just thinking about the testing, right? And it is impossible in current situation because distance learning. And I propose that assessment of achievement or competence of assessment should be run through performance assessment product. So as I mentioned earlier, students asked to do something in their house, and they make a kind of report or photograph of their experiment, and the teacher should assess student competence through their product. Of course, a test can be delivered to students, but I guess it's not enough. Yeah, just not think about just testing. The alternative assessment provided to students through performance assessment, particularly in product assessment. So based on the product they show to the teacher, the teacher can evaluate, can assess whether the student can achieve, how about the content, how about the process skill, how about creativity, and so on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hari, for the answer. And I think it's very clear, the answer. And well, I think this is the end of our third speaker's session. So thank you very much, Dr. Hari, for your sharing about your knowledge and experiences with us.
Yeah, okay. Not at all.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hari.
Yeah.
Okay, dear participants, now we are going to move to the next session of the...
Still next session?
Yeah, we still have next session, Dr. Hari. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
For the presentation.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, participants, we have listened to our speakers' presentations in today's webinar. And next, before we close this webinar, we would like to deliver some information about our upcoming program in this year, which is the third Ki Hajar Dewantara Award. And this information will be delivered by Ms. Lintang Rati Prastika, one of Senior Cadet in Science officers, who will become the committee of the third Ki Hajar Dewantara Award. Okay, I would like to invite Ms. Lintang. Good afternoon, Ms. Lintang.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Okay, so we can show the slides. Okay. Okay, we can wait a moment until the slide is open. So yeah, I would like to add some information about the research grants that Dr. Hari informed you before. So this year, we conduct research grants 2020. This program is our programs, which is give grants for teachers in Southeast Asian countries. And for this year's research grants, we have 40 grantees, and we have grantees from Indonesia and Malaysia. And they have submitted 40 proposals, and we have selected the best proposals from the grantees. And for your information, after the research grants provided to the participants, and they will conduct research, and their research report will be published in our proceedings, so you can learn the research conducted by the grantees. Okay, I think the slides has been ready, so now we can start the session with Ms. Lintang Rati Prastika.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rizwan. The Honorable Dr. Indrawati, Director Simeo Kitab in Science, Honorable Deputy Director of Simeo Kitab in Science, Honorable Management Simeo Kitab in Science, Honorable the speakers, all of the participants, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon. In this session, I will share the information about our big event, our big program named the third Ki Hajar Dewantara Award, promoting science teaching and learning innovation. So, what is Ki Hajar Dewantara Awards? Next, please. Next slide, please. Okay. Okay, this is our program. So, what is it? The Ki Hajar Dewantara Awards, or KSDA, is the SIKI's biennial flagship program to acknowledge science teacher dedication and tireless effort in bringing science learning into the excellent level. And this year, SIKIS will conduct the third Ki Hajar Dewantara Award. Ki Hajar Dewantara itself was Indonesia independence activist and pioneer of education for Indonesian natives in the Dutch colonial era. As Indonesian education hero, his birthday on 2nd May is being commemorated as Indonesia National Education Day. Okay, previously, this program was not named Ki Hajar Dewantara Award yet. The title was Best Science Teachers Award from 2012 until 2015. And because we realized a very meaningful of Ki Hajar Dewantara services for education, then we proposed the new name for this award program using his name, become Ki Hajar Dewantara Award from 2016 until now. There are the goals of this program are to commemorate the services of Ki Hajar Dewantara in forming national education system in Indonesia. 2, to develop, advocate, and reward excellence in science learning and teaching practices. 3, to reinforce the concept of the teaching profession and science education development as a driving force in the regional progress leading collectively. And 4, to foster cooperation and close relationship among Simeo member countries by means of better science education and a greater awareness of the place of in science society. And then the nominees of KHDA are 11 selected best science teachers representing each Simeo member country. And all of the nominees will get a travel grant as a privilege to attend the inauguration of the award. For this year, we get the theme, and the theme is Innovation in the Science Teaching and Learning Towards Industrial Revolution 4.0. For the next venue, all of 11 nominees will present their science learning research or innovation on 17 November 2020, and the announcement of the winner will be held on 18 November 2020 at our joint international conference program in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Hopefully, this COVID-19 pandemic will end before November 2020, so this schedule can be conducted. But we're preparing for the worst. If the pandemic still exists, maybe this program will be held by online method. And then for the awards, The awards for the winners are comprised for one is the trophy, and then a certificate, and a teacher professional development fund, sum of for the first winner, $5,000, and for the second winner, $2,500, and for the third winner will get $1,000. There are the general requirements for joining this program. The first is citizen of SIMEO member countries, and then being able to communicate in English, primary or secondary science teacher in education institution, having science teaching innovation with Ignatius method to engage student in learning of science, being recommended by relevant education unit or institution or community, and active member of Teachers Association. Next is registration requirements, especially for applicants from Indonesia. To join these awards, applicants must fill in the registration form and submit the required document at the link displayed by 17 July 2020. And the required documents are 1. Best practice paper, 2. Recommendation letter from Head of Teacher Association or Head of Education Office, 3. Curriculum vitae with the professional highest achievement, and 4. Scan copy of passport or national identity card or KTP. Next, the selection mechanism for Indonesian applicants. Step 1. Applicants submit their best practice paper and administrative document. Step 2. Desk evaluation to assess the applicant's portfolio. Step 3. Paper review to assess the quality of applicant's paper by the expert panel. Step 4. Select 20 best applicants. Step 5. Online presentation by 20 best participants. And final step is selecting one best nominee from Indonesia. After that process, one best Indonesian nominee will compete with 10 nominees from other SIMEO member countries at KHD Award on 17 November 2020 and become paper presenter at joint international conference between SIKIS, Sikkim, IPST on 18 to 19 November 2020. And for the other 19 selected teachers will attend the KHD Award as audiences and become parallel paper presenter at the conference. Next is registration requirement for applicants from other SIMEO member countries. Applicants must fill in the registration form and submit required documents to respective MOE, not to the link like the Indonesian applicants. And the required documents are best practice paper, nomination letter from MOE, curriculum vitae with the professional highest achievement, and scanned copy of passport. For the selection mechanism are: Step 1, applicants submit their best practice paper, registration form, and administrative documents to respective MOE. Step 2, desk evaluation by the respective MOE to assess applicants' portfolio. Step 4, each MOE selects one nominee as a country representative. And then step 5, each MOE of SIMEO member country nominates one selected teachers by 31st August 2020, then inform it to SIKIS. And the final step, SIKIS review the nomination and send acceptance letter for nominees who meet the general requirement. One nominee from each SIMEO member country will compete with nominees from other SIMEO member countries at KHD Award on 17 November 2020, and also become paper presenter at joint international conference between SIKIS, Sikkim, IPST on 18 to 19 November 2020. In general, the selection process for nominees from Indonesia and other SIMEO member countries are the same. The difference is only in the selection party. For nominees from Indonesia, will selected by SIKIS, while other semi member countries by each MOE, according to the selection guidelines provided by SIKIS. Next is the judges. The judges for the award are: one is expert in science education, and he or she is not from SIMIO member countries. 2, SIMIO Secretariat Director. And 3, the head of the Bureau of Cooperation and Public Relations, MOEC of Indonesia. Okay, I think that's all the brief about the third Ki Hajar Dewantara Awards. And if you still have any inquiry about that, you can visit our website at www.kitabinScience.org. It's our great pleasure to invite you to participate in this program. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Islam.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lintang, for informing us about this program. And now I would like to read a question from the participant. There's a question from Miss Jenny Viv. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Miss Jenny. She asked about how does it have to be? Does it have to be science major, or it could be any major as long as we are teaching science as subject?
Okay. If you're not have the background from science, you can still join this program, but you must conduct the learning about science. So you can you still can you can still join this program and register to your MOE from Philippines.
I think Philippines.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Lintang. So, Ms. Jenny, this award is not only limited to science teacher, but as long as you teach science at school, so you can submit your paper of best practices or innovation in science teaching and learning. Okay, so I think we only have one question for this session.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lintang.
Yeah, thank you.
And today we have two winners of our prestigious Ki Hajar Dewantara Award as the speakers.
Yes.
Hopefully, after this information, we could encourage other participants to join this award.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, dear participants, now we have finished all of today's presentations. And from the speakers, we could learn that COVID-19 pandemic has caused global crisis that becomes a challenge for education. We could answer the challenges by keep being innovative in developing science teaching and learning activities. We could use online tools or any tools that supported by today's technology. And during the new normal, we will use online media to assist us in conducting teaching and learning activities. And this media could provide a lot of information needed for students' learning. However, as a teacher, we are not only urged to be innovative in delivering the learning content, but we also should be able to motivate our students to overcome this crisis. Okay, these participants, this is the conclusions of our today's webinar. But before we end this webinar, I would like to invite all the participants of this webinar to create an account at our course information system at www.course.kitabinscience.org. So you can get access to our upcoming programs, including the next webinar series that will be conducted on 8th July 2020. And I would like also to remind all participants to fill in the attendance form. And we are sorry for participants who join on Zoom. We have some problem with the system server, but we will still open the form until 8 p.m. today. So you can still try to access the attendance form after this session. And please make sure that you have filled in the attendance form, because we will only give e-certificate for participants who has filling out the the attendance form. And please fill in also the evaluation form of this webinar. And finally, on behalf of Senior Kitab in Science, I would like to extend our gratitude to all the speakers for your sharing about your experience, your ideas, your insights. And thank you, Brian, Cik Gul Soim, and Dr. Hari. And I would like also to thank you to all participants for joining this webinar. Okay, I wish you well, be safe, and have a good day.
Simeo Kitab in Science, or SIKIS, which is located in Bandung, was established in 2009. SIKIS has successfully conducted many programs that are categorized into 3 program trusts, namely Professional Teacher Development, Learning Resource Development, and Professional Learning Communities. The 3 program trusts are elaborated
to a bright and promising future. We'll rise to the call of the times and create a stronger tomorrow. Let's start to make a difference, teaching everyone to learn through science, health, and technology. We will share our expertise by promoting knowledge and policies. We can build a better world. Let us take a step for our wishes alone, making future plans for the people to grow in a life filled with happiness and clean. Hear us sing building the future is our legacy. We'll achieve our goals through partnership, creating opportunities. By working hand in hand, we can accomplish all our dreams. For a better quality of life is now within our reach. Let us take a step for our wishes alone, making future plans for the people to grow in a life filled with happiness and clean. Hear us sing, building the future is our legacy.
Simeo Kitab in Science, or SIKIS, which is located in Bandung, was established in 2009. SIKIS has successfully conducted many programs that are categorized into 3 program trusts, namely Professional Teacher Development, Learning Resource Development, and Professional Learning Communities. The 3 program trusts are elaborated into age categories of program, which are Training course is one of SIKI's responsibilities to increase the quality of teachers and education personnel. The trainings are divided into 3 categories, which are regular training courses, customized training courses. Collaboration training courses. Workshops are intended to enhance and develop teachers, education personnel, as well as internal resources competencies related to science learning. International conference, seminars, and online lectures proposed is to disseminate best practice of science education. 3. Research grants. 4. Kihajar Dewantara Awards. Science Research Grants has been awarded to best 30 research proposals of Indonesian science teachers and education personnel. To reach the goal of enhancing teachers and educational staff quality, SIGIS has successfully established mutual collaboration and networking with other institutions nationally. 3. Training course on science structured communication. Regionally, customized training. In-country and internationally, those active and other senior member countries are instructed staff capacity building activities are intended to increase the capability of SIGIS staff. Trainings. Scholar STEM training. Collaboration with ATSE. The last one is the Center Promotion and Publication, which proposes to increase public awareness toward SIGIS. PMKPK Utara ini and Bandung Education Department. Workshops and seminars. Science Seminar. Research Dissemination Seminar. Research Grants. Grants for science teachers to conduct research in science learning and communication. Are 5,343 alumni, 47 regular trainers, 33 seminar and international conference, 31 staff capacity building activities, and 53 national and international networks.
In carrying out our mandate to improve science teachers and education personnel across the region, we will continue to improve the quality of our programs not only in science education but also acquiring the technology. Therefore, the teachers should possess skill and knowledge to educate their students in facing today's challenges.
Kitab in Science, or SIKIS, which is located in Bandung, was established in 2009. SIKIS has successfully conducted many programs that are categorized into 3 program trusts, namely Professional Teacher Development, Learning Resource Development, and Professional Learning Communities. The 3 program trusts are elaborated into age categories of program, which are: training course is one of SIKI's responsibilities to increase the quality of teachers and education personnel. The trainings are divided into 3 categories, which are regular training courses, customized training courses, collaboration training courses. Workshops are intended to enhance and develop teachers, education personnel, as well as internal resources competencies related to science learning. International conference, seminars, and online lectures purpose is to disseminate best practice of science education. Science research grants has been awarded to best 30 research proposals of Indonesian science teachers and education personnel. To reach the goal of enhancing teachers and educational staff quality, SIKIS has successfully established mutual collaboration and networking with other institutions nationally, regionally, and internationally. Staff capacity building activities are intended to increase the capability of SIKIS staff. The last one is the Center Promotion and Publication, which proposes to increase public awareness toward SIKIS.
Welcome to SIKIS, Jember Kitab in Science, a center of professional excellence in the area of science teaching for teachers and educational personnel within the framework of sustainable development. Our mission is to provide relevant and quality programs in professional excellence for science teachers and education personnel through capacity building activities, resource searching, research and development, and networking. We are fully supported by 11 JAMA member countries through the appointment of governing board members. The center is currently assisted by 41 competent resources divided into 6 divisions.
SIKIS offers various programs and activities, which are 1. Trainings, 2. Workshop and seminars, 3. Research grants, 4. Ki Hajar Dewantara Awards. Trainings were consisting of 1. Regular trainings. 2. Customized trainings. 3. Collaborative trainings. Regular training. 1. The training course on Earth and Space Science. 2. The training course on Environmental Education for Sustainable Development. 3. The training course on Science Classroom Supervision. Customized training. In-country training. Those conducted in other CMIO member countries and in province of Indonesia. Collaborative trainings. Stellar STEM training, collaboration with ATSE. Integrasi STEM dalam kurikulum 2013, collaboration with MOEC of Indonesia, P4TK IPA Bandung, and Bandung Education Department. Workshop and seminars. Science seminar, research dissemination seminar. Research grant. Grants for science teachers to conduct research with science learning as the main theme. Ki Hajar Dewantara, or KHD Award, is an idea and initiative by CMIO Kitab in Science to honor and appreciate the science teachers who have dedicated their lives and effort to bring the teaching and learning process up to an excellent level. SIKI's achievements from 2009 until 2018 are 5,343 alumni, 47 regular trainings, 33 seminar and international conference, 31 staff capacity building activities, and 53 national and international networks.
In carrying out our mandate to improve science teachers and education personnel across the region, we will continue to improve the quality of our programs not only in science education but also acquiring the technology. Therefore, the teachers should possess skill and knowledge to educate their students in facing today's challenges.
New Kitab in Science, or SIKIS, which is located in Bandung, was established in 2009. SIKIS has successfully conducted many programs that are categorized into 3 program trusts, namely Professional Teacher Development, Learning Resource Development, and Professional Learning Communities. The 3 program trusts are elaborated into age categories of program, which are: training course is one of SIKI's responsibilities to increase the quality of teachers and education personnel. The trainings are divided into 3 categories, which are regular training courses, customized training courses, collaboration training courses. Workshops are intended to enhance and develop teachers, education personnel, as well as internal resources competencies related to science learning. International conference, seminars, and online lectures purpose is to disseminate best practice of science education. Science Research Grants has been awarded to best 30 research proposals of Indonesian science teachers and education personnel. To reach the goal of enhancing teachers and educational staff quality, SIKIS has successfully established mutual collaboration and networking with other institutions nationally, regionally, and internationally. Staff capacity building activities are intended to increase the capability of SIKIS staff. The last one is the Center Promotion and Publication, which proposes to increase public awareness toward SIKIS.
Welcome to SIKIS, Sumber Kitab in Science, a center of professional excellence in the area of science teaching for teachers and educational personnel within the framework of sustainable development. Our mission is to provide relevant and quality programs in professional excellence for science teachers and education personnel through capacity building activities, resource searching, research and development, and networking. We are fully supported by 11 SIAMA member countries through the appointment of governing board members. The center is currently assisted by 41 competent resources divided into 6 divisions.
SIKIS offers various programs and activities, which are 1. Trainings, 2. Workshop and seminars, 3. Research grants, 4. Ki Hajar Dewantara Awards. Trainings were consisting of 1. Regular trainings. 2. Customized trainings. 3. Collaborative trainings. Regular training. 1. The training course on Earth and Space Science. 2. The training course on Environmental Education for Sustainable Development. 3. The training course on Science Classroom Supervision. Customized training. In-country training. Those conducted in other SIMEO member countries and in province of Indonesia. Collaborative trainings. Stellar STEM training, collaboration with ATSE. Integrasi STEM dalam kurikulum 2013, collaboration with MOEC of Indonesia, P4TK IPA Bandung, and Bandung Education Department. Workshop and seminars. Science seminar, research dissemination seminar. Research grant. Grants for science teachers to conduct research with science learning as the main theme. Ki Hajar Dewantara, or KHD Award, is an idea and initiative by SIMEO Kitab in Science to honor and appreciate the science teachers who have dedicated their lives and effort to bring the teaching and learning process up to an excellent level. SIKI's achievements from 2009 until 2018 are 5,343 alumni, 47 regular trainings, 33 seminar and international conference, 31 staff capacity building activities, and 53 national and international networks.
In carrying out our mandate to improve science teachers and education personnel across the region, we will continue to improve the quality of our programs not only in science education but also acquiring the technology. Therefore, the teachers should possess skill and knowledge to educate their students in facing today's challenges.